Denver 8 TV, your city, your source.
How's everybody doing this morning? Great. Welcome to another wonderful Denver, Colorado morning. This is a beautiful, beautiful day. Before I get started, I just wanted to welcome everyone. My name is Judy Montero, and I am the council representative, and you're in Council District 9 for future home of the National Western Stock Show. But before I sort of talk a little bit, I wanted to share a really fun story with you. I was just talking with my friend, Betty Krem. Raise your hand. This is Betty Krem, and I introduced her to Jerry Bell from KOA, because I thought, oh, that'd be a good person for him to talk to if they ever wanted to talk about the history of National Western. But here's the fun part of the story, is that Betty Krem turned 92 years old. And yeah. And still sells Avon, so if any of you need that. Yeah, if you want all the information on the neighborhood, Betty has that. Well, Betty was telling me that that she used to work in this building, and that right there where the counter is where KOA, which was originally it stands for the King of Agriculture, would broadcast from this very area, and the broadcaster's name was Evan Slack, and his assistant was named Jackie O'Keefe. So thank you for sharing that story with us. So we're gathered at this beautiful building that was once the bustling center of commerce with roaming livestock just outside, honoring our past, our story, and lays the foundation for moving forward. Back in November 2012, which is now recent history, the National Western Stock Show announced that it would remain in the city of Denver. And I'm so happy the day that you made that decision, because I was very sad that there was a possibility that you wouldn't be in the fabric of our city anymore. In May of this year, we released a feasibility study that made recommendations to improve the National Western Stock Show complex, the Denver Coliseum, and the Colorado Convention Center, in order to keep Denver a competitor for conventions and tourism on a national and international scale. We then informed you at that time that Denver would engage in a master planning process with key partners and the community to create the vision for this part of the city. This plan lays out a long-range vision to ensure the National Western Stock Show thrives for the next 100 years, which I plan to be around, which is critical to our city and our region. However, what I'm most excited about are the positive impacts this vision will have on the neighbors of Globeville, Elyria, and Swansea. The National Western Master Plan lays out an integrated vision that strongly supports the values set forth by Globeville, Elyria, Swansea residents through the neighborhood planning process. Through year-round programming, the plan also creates a campus that is welcoming to new and existing tourists, and also embraces our surrounding neighborhood residents. This integration is key to ensure that we uplift not only the National Western Stock Show, but also the communities that haven't seen any meaningful investment until now for decades. I'm so excited that we have reached this milestone today, and look forward to the continued involvement of the neighborhoods to move this project forward. Now I would like to share with you the vision that our Mayor, Michael B. Hancock, will be talking to you about. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Councilwoman Montero, and I want to thank all of you for being here today. Today in the audience, we do have not only representatives from my administration and the community and interested stakeholders, we also have representatives from our government, from all levels of government. Tricia Stevens representing Congresswoman Diane DeGette's office. Thank you for being here. We have Councilman Albus Brooks here from Denver, and from the state, who also represents this area, State Representative Crisanta Duran in the back there. Thank you for being here. We're all excited to be here today and appreciate the support and enthusiasm that this project has generated. I want to start by acknowledging a few of our leaders who are here along with the elected officials. Ron Williams, who is the chair of the National Western Stock Show. Thank you, Ron, for being here and for your partnership. Absolutely. I want to thank Colorado State University Vice President for Operations, Amy Parsons, who is here as well. Denver Museum of Nature and Science President CEO, George Sparks, and History of Colorado President and CEO, Ed Nichols, all of whom, without their involvement and support, we would not be here today. So would you join me in thanking those partners? Today, before I jump into the context of my remarks, I got to say this about the communities that surround these properties. Globeville, Elaria, and Swansea, people who have historically held the anchor of this city, but have also been widely discussed as neighborhoods that have been perennially overlooked and underserviced, have come to the table and have been thoughtful. And when it was appropriate to disagree, they disagreed. When it was appropriate to agree, they agreed. We never looked at this process through rose-colored lenses. We recognize that this was, if it was to be a true community process, that we were going to have disagreements and we were going to have to work through challenges. I simply want to honor and salute the people who live in these communities and thank them for their involvement and thank them for really carrying the burden, the challenges and opportunities that these properties and this project represent. So would you all join me in honoring the people who live in these communities? Since the beginning of my administration, from day one, I have been committed to keeping the stock show right here in Denver and ensuring that it grows and thrives for at least the next 100 years, while Councilman Montero will be here. As you know, the grounds around us have served as a home of the stock show since 1906. But the opportunities that exist for this site go beyond the 16 days that the National Western Stock Show is active. There was a paradigm shift at some point in my administration, and I'll share it with you. It's when I sat at the conference table with my team, and I said, I want us to approach this a little differently. I want us to not think so much about how we all fit into the National Western Stock Show, but ask how the National Western Stock Show fits in with our vision for the area. That changed the momentum of how we work with the stock show, and I think created a new platform of opportunities. As a result, we have before us the chance to reimagine the site for the future, to create a campus that fits the neighborhood and not only welcomes neighbors, but connects them with each other and other parts of the city via new roads and infrastructure, with new opportunities for jobs and education, with open space, entertainment, commerce, and with new options for transit. We have before us a chance to offer those kinds of opportunities not only for those who live and work in Globeville, Elaria, and Swansea, or in other parts of the city, but to the new visitors from around the region and around the world, strengthening Denver as a top-rated destination for conventions and tourism. Together with the community and the partners standing beside me today, we have a plan to create a dynamic hub in this area that will combine modern agriculture with Western tradition, education with entertainment, and competition with commerce. The long-range, multi-phase plan for the new National Western Center is to create a dynamic, year-round campus of new and adaptive reuse buildings that, at full build-out, will drive nearly 1 million additional visitors to the site on an annual basis. The site, as you can see in the drawings, will be built for the 21st century and serve the New West. We will create approximately 46 acres of new outdoor public space in and around the new facilities, which will all be situated north of I-70. Once a new arena is built, the stage will be set to discuss how we will redevelop the Denver Coliseum site. Some of that new space will be prime riverfront along the South Platte River, which will once again make healthy and visible and accessible. We will do that in this area by moving rail lines away from the river and creating open space along the banks, freeing up nearly a mile of riverfront for recreation. We will create a large outdoor event space to help take pressure off of our city parks. The National Western Campus will be activated 365 days a year with programs for students, business people, tourists, and community members. This will be done by creating flexible indoor and outdoor spaces for a variety of uses, such as a public market, festivals, and retail, and creating hands-on, informal, and formal education programs for children and lifelong learners. The plan will provide new multimodal connections through and around the campus to connect surrounding neighborhoods. For example, adding 2 new connections between Washington Street with National Western Drive at 49th and 51st Avenues will connect local neighborhoods. We will also improve pedestrian and bicycle facilities throughout the campus so that the campus is accessible to all. To increase year-round programming and private development in and around the campus, we will offer partnership opportunities to ensure that this campus will be home to education, commerce, entertainment, and again, tourism. The National Western Center is a key component of the corridor of opportunity between downtown and DIA. The center reinforces and supports other key North Denver Cornerstone collaborative portfolios, including the River, the Globeville and Elaria Swansea communities, RTD station activation, and Brighton Boulevard redevelopment. This vision for the National Western Center campus is bold and innovative and will strengthen our economy for decades to come. Again, I want to thank our partners who've helped to make this possible. We could not do this without their commitment, and we look forward to working together to make this vision a reality. As I've said to them, now that there's a plan, the hard work begins. Last but not least, and this is really not last, let me add one additional person to the conversation who I pulled from critical operations in the city of Denver in my administration and asked to take hold of this. And if anyone can make someone look brilliant, it's him. And I knew he was up to the task. I want to make sure that everyone knows that we all owe a great deal of gratitude to Kelly Lead for his leadership on this project. Thank you, Kelly. Last but not least, let me also acknowledge the National Western Citizens Advisory Committee. This group of approximately 30 members representing neighborhoods, businesses, nonprofits, and partners have been working for over a year to help create this vision. They are volunteers and they have met monthly to provide direction. I want to thank you for your commitment and dedication. The National Western Center will be one-of-a-kind campus, and we owe it to you for being creative and involved. We look forward to your continued engagement as the plan advances through the adoption process. I also want to thank the National Western Stock Show, its board of directors, again under the leadership of Ron Williams, Paul Andrews, for really being patient, being a partner, a true partner, and recognizing that doing this together in a more comprehensive fashion was the best process forward to help the stock show continue to be the best National Western Stock Show in this entire nation. And we are committed to making sure that that happens right here from the Mile High City. So with that, I am pleased to welcome to the podium one of our very valuable partners in this process, Amy Parsons. She's Vice President of the University, the Colorado State University of Operations. Please welcome Amy. Where are you going?
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you. Good morning. On behalf of Colorado State University, I just want to say how excited we are to be a part of this historic unveiling of the new master plan for the National Western Stock Show. CSU and the National Western have been great partners for over 100 years. CSU was there at the very first stock show over 100 years ago and have been there every year since then. And we look forward to being there for the next 100 years plus. What the stock show does is very perfectly aligned with CSU's mission. And we're so pleased at the opportunities that the new National Western Center will present to create a thriving year-round center focused on lifelong learning and highlighting the connections between food, water, energy, environment, and health. The boldness of this plan builds on the state's already strong agricultural roots in Colorado, and I believe positions Colorado as a global player in agricultural business and research and tourism. We look forward to continuing the work with the National Western Center partners and launching new collaborations that will help weave together agriculture, commerce, business, research, and education. We are imagining a collaborative center dedicated to addressing the challenges of food, water, energy, and the environment, representing partnerships between the public and the private sectors, and blurring the lines between entertainment, education, and industry. We have begun the work in earnest of working with all of our partners to identify formal and informal educational programs that will bring to the site, as well as research and development and cutting-edge sustainability designs and practices, all of which will engage the entire site and bring in a wide variety of visitors from around the world. CSU anticipates helping to apply best practices developed at the National Western Center for immediate benefit to our community and our society, and simultaneously create an incredibly exciting educational center for the entire K-12 population and the general public. We believe the National Western Center will benefit local neighborhoods, the Denver area and the Front Range, our K-12 system, and our interwoven network of higher education institutions in Colorado. All of this while delivering outcomes that can be broadly applied and scaled to address similar global challenges and attract visitors from across the U.S. and the world. Attaining this vision for the National Western Center is perfectly aligned with the CSU mission for our next 150 years, and we're very much honored to be a part of it. I also want to thank the mayor and his leadership, and Kelly Lead and their whole leadership team, and the incredible amount of work that we've all put in over the last year to be able to be here today to launch this very exciting master plan going forward. So thank you all very much, and with that, I'd like to introduce Paul Andrews, who's the president and CEO of the National Western.
Well, I see a lot of cowboys and cowgirls faces out here right now, but I got to tell you, I'm easily the most excited cowboy in this room right now. No doubt about it. Thank you, Mayor Hancock. Thank you, Councilwoman Montero, Amy Parsons. Thanks for the fantastic welcome here to the National Western and for sharing your visions of what our great future will be together. Through the master planning process, we've identified a center that brings new opportunities to the site and to this great city. We'll have a competitive edge here, once built, to attract some of the biggest and best shows from around the world, shows we could not touch today. And we'll be drawing in new national and international guests in what will become the true gateway to downtown Denver. We've envisioned a center that will help us attract and keep the types of events and shows that we've normally gone elsewhere with. These changes will allow the National Western Center to be a true year-round operation and will bring significant economic investment to the stock show, to the city, and our growing list of partners. Our intent has been to stay right here in Denver, and this plan helps solidify the National Western Stock Show's footprint in the city and county of Denver for the next 100 years. Yeah, alongside our partners in Colorado State University, the Museum of Nature and Science, and History Colorado, we're also building a campus that focuses on cutting-edge agriculture, local food production, and equestrian sciences. And combine that with our existing focus on Western heritage and the access to a rejuvenated South Platte River with open spaces, and we can assure you that the new National Western Center will be an engaging and fun educational experience for people of all ages while securing the future of the National Western Stock Show. Identifying these new opportunities would not have been possible if not for the great partners we've had along the way. The mayor and city council members, along with the NDCC's Kelly Lead, who we've mentioned earlier, have been instrumental in helping us plan for a solid future in Denver. Our MOU partners, CSU, Museum of Nature and Science, History Colorado, they bring vibrant and engaging programming that's not been possible before this time. And the work that we've done with the National Western Center Advisory Committee has helped us all plan for a site that accommodates our neighbors and visitors alike. What this sums up for me is we're all part of one team, and that team is made up of a lot of different people, okay? All of whom have been mentioned here today. And that team effort is going to culminate in what is going to be the greatest agricultural education site in the world, and it's going to be called the National Western Center. With that, before I introduce Kelly Lead, as a marketer all my life, I want to remind everyone, January 10th, the National Western Stock Show starts its 109th year right here. And January 8th, you can get a glimpse of our mayor in a wagon downtown. He always joins us for the annual parade right down 17th Street, where we will have those longhorns leading you right through the parade. So again, thank you for allowing this vision to occur. Thank you for being part of the team that is doing it. And now let me introduce a guy that I have just grown to have a tremendous deal of respect for his vision and for his ability to pull us all together and make this happen. So please welcome the Executive Director of the North Denver Cornerstone Collaborative, Mr. Kelly Lead.
Wow, I'm an old offensive lineman, so we don't like all this credit. This is a team effort. This is not about one individual, but really about a team, and I think that personifies what we're doing here today. I want to thank Amy and Paul and all our partners for, again, coming together to become a team and to think about not just our individual issues or desires, but really to kind of blend together in a way that the end product of that is something much bigger, much bolder, and much more powerful than any one institution could do it by itself. And it's not by mistake that when we name the North Denver Cornerstone Collaborative is an essential part of what we do every day. And so this is a testament to what can happen when people collaborate. I also want to take a moment to thank and I'm in awe by the city team. I mean, the thousands of employees that work in our city, but in particular I want to thank the team of city folks that have helped us get here. And I see Jen Hillhouse here, Steve Nally I hope is here from CPD, Jose, Lori, Brad Buchanan, and others that are part, Kent Rice, from appointees to project managers. I think on any given day we have 100+ people working on these efforts, and they do the tireless work to get here. And without their commitment, dedication, and passion, there is no way we could be standing here today. So thank you, Jen and team, for helping us get here. So what's next? And that's kind of what I'm going to talk about here. This is a story of milestones, or a story of pauses for reflection. And today we're releasing the draft master plan, just like we've done with the Globeville plan and Elyria Swansea plan. We want to engage the public in the conversation. We want the public to give us feedback. We've laid out the vision. The mayor's given us permission to think big, think bold, and we want to hear from the public about their thoughts on the plan. Kind of the building footprint is set, the infrastructure ideas are in place, and now we want to grow, and just like we're collaborating as partners, the public is also our partner. So we want to hear from the public. We will be receiving feedback until January 20th, and you can do this through a variety of ways. You can go online. The report now, our plan is online and available online. We will have public copies of the report at the Swansea Rec Center and the Globeville Library. We will have some additional public meetings. Our Community Advisory Committee will continue to meet and provide feedback. So we will take all that feedback and add it to the flavor of the plan. As we do that, we will prepare for the adoption of the plan. This plan will go before City Council, and right now we're slated to do that in, I believe, March of this next year. So there's a whole series of steps we go through from Planning Board on down to get it to Council adoption. And while we're doing all of that, we will also be preparing for the submittal of a Regional Tourism Act application to the state of Colorado, which is a part of our proposed funding stream to help fund these projects. So we are also working on that. And we have the other portfolios. One of the most fascinating things about this project is that, this project by itself is big, but when you add the other portfolios and how we think about aligning those portfolios, again, I think this plan really reflects what can happen when you start to align planning. So really addressing some of the key connectivity issues of our neighborhoods, activating the river again, as we've done downstream, really leveraging public transit in a way that we haven't been able to do. All those things are reflected in this plan. And then I see Richard Scharf in the back of the room. I mean, working with the convention center, this is about driving tourists to our state and thinking really thoughtfully and strategically about how do these new assets leverage and support our convention center. So all those things are kind of swirling around, but we are on a very focused mission over the next, let's say, 90 days to get this through council adoption and get our plan off to the state. And then we will continue to listen, and we will continue to learn as we move this plan forward. This is one of our objectives here as I close is one of the things we have to think through as we move from planning to ultimately implementation. In addition to getting a plan of finance in place, we have to make sure the stock show can stay in place and operate while we do this. So we have a kind of a comprehensive set of conversations that will start to unfold about the phasing of this project over, let's say, the next decade or so. So with that, what we want to do is our formal comments are done. But I will tell you, it was no accident, and I'm so thankful that we selected this facility for today. If you hearken back, let's say 70 years ago, this was the center of agricultural commerce for multiple states. I mean, 40,000 head of cattle came through this site on any given day, and this was a busy place. Certainly, talk to Betty, she can tell you all about it. But it was, so in some respects, this is a symbol of kind of reactivating this building around the centers of 21st century ag. So it is an important symbol that tells you we honor the past, but we look very much to the future as we move forward.
All right, a new day is coming to this community, surrounding neighborhoods, to National Western Stock Show. Congratulations to everyone involved, and congratulations to the entire region. God bless you. Thank you all.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Denver 8 TV, your city, your source.